Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Price is Right with the magic of and the technology of green screen photography. We're on the set of the original Price is Right with our guest Bob Barker.
And Bob is holding up your candelabra.
Yeah, it looks like he's holding up the candelabra there. And on my left, we have the general manager, Mr. Joel Baird, being part of this Asaph Cafe on The Price is Right. And we also have Jeremy on my further left. And we're going to do a little Price is Right game auction today. We're auctioning off this bike here. And I am your host, Asaph Adonai. So we're just going to have a lot of fun. And Bob Barker is going to help us find a winner on today's Price is Right.
Should I give a little backfield?
Sure, why not? Go ahead, sure.
Okay. So, dear viewer, in case you don't know where the bike came from, it was a donation to MCAT from Free Cycles Missoula here. And they donated a bike to us in honor of our 27th anniversary, which we just passed, and had a big old party. And Christian has back there some pictures from the party. And the bike was on a raffle. And one of the reasons we wanted to have a raffle was to get people's names and email addresses, so we'd have a big list of people to send our email newsletter to. But it's time to make good today on the raffle. Somebody's got to win this bike.
Right. And before we go further, Jose, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Come on down. Yeah.
Oh,
come on
Jose
down. Yeah. And I want you to stare right behind.
He's got a place for you, Jose.
Stare right here behind Jeremy and.
You can sit right here, actually.
No, I want him to stand. He'll be on. No, come in more.
Yeah,
so he'll be on there. Right there.
Oh,
right
but
there.
you don't want him to cover your sign.
Okay, back up a little bit. There, right there.
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, now we have our first contestant on The Price is Right, Mr. Jose Van Smith. And he is the president of Right Now Television. We got him on The Price is Right, too. He's sitting in with Bob Barker and myself.
Looks like his hands are on my shoulder, too.
Yeah, we could leave you out of this here. We're auctioning off the bike today, so you have to be part of it.
It's a raffle.
And
we got a raffle. Somebody's got to win.
I'm hoping to be that winner.
Well, we'll find out. That's why I called you down. So Jose is our first. He's our first contestant on The Price is Right. I love it.
Well, it seems like he should win something.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But this is so cool.
I would just like to say, give an honor where we're honors to Dr. Beer.
Oh, thank you very much.
And Mr. Asaph.
Thank you.
And his guest on the right now. Is this the Price is Right?
This is the original.
Well, it's really
Price
Asaph
is Right.
Cafe, but
on the right now TV.
We're still it's still Asaph Cafe. We're just through the magic of technology. We're not only auctioning off this bike or getting a winner.
That's right.
But we're on The Price is Right. This is the original set of The Price is Right with Bob Barker. Now we know Drew Carey is the current host.
Yes.
But we wanted to go back pre-Carey to Bob Barker. And it's cool because it looks like he's standing behind the candelabra there.
Yeah. Is that Price is Right show still running?
Yeah, it is, but it's with Drew Carey.
Yes.
It's still
right.
It's still on. It's just Drew Carey is the current host now.
And it still has the same concept.
Yeah, it's the same concept. Nothing has changed.
Consumer goods.
Yeah, they show
and
us
it's your job
goods.
to guess as closely as you can how much that might cost.
Right. So how do we want to do this?
I would venture a guess at about say about $10,000.
Oh, are you guessing on the bike?
Yes.
Okay, Jeremy, you want to try?
How much it's worth?
Yeah.
The bike?
Yeah.
When was it going to come out?
I don't know.
The Price is Right.
What I know about this bike is that it has these beautiful paisley fossil-like.
$800.
Okay. Asaph, you care to make a guess on the street value of this purple towny bike?
All right, I'm gonna say, and it's an older model, right? It's an older model.
Yes, I believe so.
I'm gonna say about $400. No, I'm gonna say 500.
You were 8. You were
I'll say
10,000.
I'll say 500.
You're 500.
Is this an auction? Are we auctioning?
No, it's really a raffle.
Oh, for
it's
the
just
raffle.
we got
You know-
down this Price is Right rabbit hole.
Yes.
And we've got to pursue all the carrots.
Okay.
I concur.
The winner, hypothetically, but not actually, would be you, Asaph, because it was donated to us by Free Cycles.
Okay.
And so it actually cost MCAT absolutely nothing.
Oh, then that would make me technically
Yeah,
the
you were
winner.
close.
Okay, well.
You just told me that too, and I was like, wait, I thought you were just.
Details.
Yeah, wait, I've got to
details.
scream. Ah, I won! Ah, thank you. Yeah, I gotta go. Ah, I won. Okay, who's gonna be the real winner of
Right.
this?
So
Yes.
this is how we're going to determine the winner. There were 1,216 entries to win this bike. 1,216 entries.
Yes.
So what I'm using on this tablet, I don't know if Christian's back there to zoom in on it. Putting it right where my head is. He might have left. Anyway, oh no, he's there. This is a bona fide website which is called a random number generator.
Super.
And you can set the parameters for your random number generation. But now I need someone on the show to pick a number between 1 and 5.
Okay.
Or you want to do
Jeremy?
it?
Now
You wanna
let Jeremy do it.
5.
The max.
Okay.
Okay. So,
3.
well, no, Jeremy gets it with 5.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm going to do, this tablet will randomly generate a number between 1 and 1,216. I'm going to press it 5 times.
Yeah.
That number, that 5th number, is going to correspond to our spreadsheet.
Yes.
Every entry on the spreadsheet has a number, and that's going to be the number of who won.
Okay.
Super.
Then I might have to go off to find out who it is because it's on a different computer.
Okay.
Here we go.
Fingers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
The number
maybe we
is
should-
2.
That's
It was what?
interesting.
2.
Wow.
So
The
it's to
second
you.
entry.
Yes.
Wow. And just to prove to our audience at home, if it can be zoomed in on again. They may have left. He may not be back there. Well,
Yes.
you guys
Oh, I can
are
see it, number 2, yeah.
unbiased.
Okay, yeah. It does say number 2.
Yeah. The
So-
random generated number for win this beautiful purple towny bike
Right.
is number 2. So should I sneak off on this shot and find out who it is and come back and tell you?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can do
Sounds like a
that.
winner.
Well, we're on
Winner.
that shot right there.
Can you make it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And get right through the
All
bike.
right.
Okay.
Jose, thanks for being part of this
Oh,
here.
it's
This is
my
part of
pleasure.
yeah. And that was the original host, Bob Barker. He was the
Yeah,
original
you know,
host.
it looks like he's right here.
Yeah, I know that's the fun magic
I'm impressed. Yes.
of green screen technology.
Right, right.
So it kind of looks like we're all on The Price is Right, actually. And this is probably the closest you and I and Jeremy will ever really be, because you know if you were on The Price is Right for real, the odds of that would be pretty slim.
Well, I would be just as equally enthralled.
So
This is great.
it
I'm
looks
really
like you're
impressed.
hobnobbing with Bob Barker.
Yes, yes.
These are all the black people in Missoula right here.
Yeah.
You go for it.
Somebody's gotta say it.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, that's
Whoa.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, there's
Well, at least we have some diversity there.
Yeah.
3
You know.
blacks.
Right on. 3 coins and a fountain.
There you go.
I seen Christian go like this. dude.
All right, I heard that. Way to go. Beautiful bike.
And the
that
color
is.
purple.
It's
a purple bike.
Purple
Yeah.
rain.
Do Oprah Winfrey proud, you know.
So,
Yay! I like the dollar sign slide out there too.
oh, yeah, well, we have a winner. It's always a pleasure to appear on the Asaph Cafe.
We had to be a part of this here with Bob Barker.
I had no idea. This was the biggest thing in my imagination that I
Well,
could
this is
appear.
what happens when you miss staff meetings, you know.
That's true. In fact, I was at a technical conference earlier with the mayor.
Cool.
It went wonderful.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
Oh, what?
Official business. I.
Was it a pleasure?
Task. Business is always a task. It's just what we do. You know, it's a labor of love. Representing IMI Tri-State Alliance and IMI Montana, we're a public benefit corporation. We serve Americans with disabilities, senior citizens, and veterans. We're in the process of developing affordable, low and moderate income housing campuses, residential campuses.
Well, that's pretty cool. I'm sure Bob Barker would love to hear something like that because he does like animal rights.
He's an activist for
activist
that.
for animal rights.
Super. Well, that's
we ought to scoot you back that way. So
Wait,
yeah,
that's
so
my man. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Slide over
I gotta
to
go
your
this way.
left. Yeah,
That's
your
my
left.
man.
Yeah, there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so just like you're trying to help the community through your organization, Bob Barker spent his life helping the community only through animal activism and things like
wonderful.
that.
That's
Like
wonderful.
he's just protected animals pretty much all his life from abuse issues and things like that. So that's pretty cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, our
We're
general
back.
manager
It's
is.
time for the drum roll.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to upstage anyone, but maybe I'll be right here to announce the winner.
All right.
The winner is Grant Cerisi. And I just emailed to Grant, told him to give us a call.
Oh, you
and then
emailed him just now?
Yeah,
Well, you can look in that camera and let him know he's an official winner too.
yeah. Grant Cerisi,
Okay, so,
you are the official winner. Call us at MCAT 542-6228 to claim your prize.
Yeah.
Congratulations. All right. Marvelous.
Well, I'll relieve you of the bike. I feel like Pee Wee Herman. I'm going to start a paper route.
There you go. There you go. Wow, that is a lovely bite.
all right. Well, we got about 15 minutes left. We'll just do a half-hour show. You might as well just have a seat, Jose. And
Well, I do have
Make yourself
pressing,
at home.
pressing other issues, but I'm
well,
always
I'm
a
glad to be
pleasure.
part of that. All
Thank
right,
you,
Jeremy,
sir.
you just keep me company
Wish-
for the
wish
rest
you
of
all
the
Back
the
day.
to
best.
business. Asaph, thank you so much
Thank
for
you for,
allowing us to invade your show
Oh,
with this news.
please, this was my pleasure.
Yes.
And for being
Yeah.
my couch
Of
mate.
course.
And Jeremy, again, it's always a pleasure to see
Of
you.
course.
You have a great day.
We'll see you around.
Thank you.
All right, Christian, we can put it back on the original. You can just come and join the remaining 15 minutes if you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna sit right here now.
Yeah, okay. Now we got to get two white guys. Bob Barker. I don't know why I said that.
So it's
And on my further left, we have Mr. Christian Ackerman. And we'll just conclude this version of Asaph Cafe. We've already got our winner.
so yeah.
And we can just hang out with Bob Barker for the remainder 15 minutes that we have.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob, yeah.
Bob.
Bob,
Agent
Bob backwards. B.O.B.
Agent
spells
Black
Bob,
wearing
see?
black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am Agent Hyphen. That's what it looks like.
Wearing black. See.
Perfect
Where's
song.
the man
Agent Man. I always thought as a kid, I thought it said like Asian man. Not just mean as a kid, just innocence. You know, I just thought, oh, why did they say, oh, okay, that's cool. And people laughed at me, and then I realized, no, it wasn't that. So yeah, very embarrassing. Yes.
Do you think MCAT will ever redo the walls all green?
I don't
So
know.
we can do like.
I don't know if they would. But because of the thing of them going to the library.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's right,
so they
that's
might
right.
do something cool there, you know. And soon I do see some technology kind of happening right now that where some people that they don't need to necessarily use green screen anymore. It's starting to get that good. So
Yeah. Oh really? What are
Yeah.
they using?
nothing. I think it's just like it uses absolutely nothing. It's like a camera. I don't know exactly. I'm not the one to ask. I've just seen tests.
I think that is like DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah.
Like that they like automatic.
Yeah, automatically like cuts out who you need. It's kind of the same kind of really basic technology like if you have an
an iMac, and it has the built-in camera, and you can put yourself on a roller coaster, and you don't necessarily have a green screen. It's just your office behind you.
Yeah.
It can cut you out kind of. It's kind of like that kind of, but better. And yeah, they're working on it. So
that's cool. That's like
so
much easier.
Who knows? By the time MCAT's in the library, maybe that's what technology will have. I have no idea.
That's like, yeah, it's like I knew a guy who went to school for masking and you know, animation, and I just watched him for hours just sitting there like
doing the rotoscope. They still call it rotoscope, I think. Yeah. Even though it's like based off an optical
for like
trade.
30 seconds he'd be in there for a week.
Yeah. Just cutting. I know there's a great thing on the Peter Jackson's special edition King Kong. Behind the scenes, it shows these guys doing that, the rotoscoping digitally, and they say, "Oh, this shot's not so bad," and they look at it and like, "Oh, there's all these plants and like ferns and stuff," and they have to rotoscope over those leaves and everything. Just to, whenever Peter Jackson would move the camera off the green screen, off the set, it is a crazy
that's
job.
patience. Masking.
And they all talk like this. Yes, it's very. Meticulous, and that's why it's like somebody meticulous. That's a great job for them. Me, I'd be like, I try to find a way to cut around it or something. Let's cut it. It doesn't work. We're cutting.
I do the same. Like, why don't I just shoot up at an upward angle? Because I wanted the background white, and I was like moving in the music video, and I'm just gonna shoot at the sky.
And then there you go.
And the back is gonna I can just
key it out. Yeah, I know you have to think that way. That's why I always try to teach kids. You have to think like ahead almost, like, and then you hope for a happy accident too as an artist.
There's so many happy accidents.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you guys talk about your projects, your latest projects, if you want to?
Sorry, we got on this tangent.
No, it's sorry. No, it's sorry. I was just playing away while you were talking.
Yeah.
But like you're still doing your videos and things. Yeah, and you're.
I'm still making I'm actually editing a mini series called Grid Street right now. It'll be a 3-part, and it'll come out. The first part will come out on YouTube for free, and then the other 2 will be they'll be available. The whole thing will be available on Amazon. So
excellent.
And then I'll show like the first one here at MCAT, but the rest of it we've been shooting at my studio, so we'll just release those ones later on. So for the public to look, and then later on everything on MCAT will be amazing. And then I'm writing a sci-fi pick right now.
Oh, really?
Awesome.
Yeah, so I just can't stop. I'm always like, and I'm acting.
And yours inspiring because it was just sitting on the panel with you. We sat on the panel the other week.
Right. Yeah, we should talk about that.
That was really fun. That was
The panel we're talking about is we just did Miscon 31, and Jeremy was up on a panel with John Nillis, myself, Tim Nidell, who does a podcast called Saturday Morning Rewind. John Nillis does, he has a production company called With the Cause Productions. He's doing a movie called Saving for the Day. And then Jeremy was on the panel, and it was a panel about independent distribution, basically. And
on half of a panel, and then the professional side was on the
we
left
were
side.
split, and I moderated, and then me and John took it from the ways, because we've gone through distributors other than our self distribution, and then we talked to yourself and Tim about self distribution, because Tim's using iTunes and all that kind of stuff, and he talked about how he uses Podbean and things, little tools. So we were on this panel and we talked about that. And I'm sorry, I just wanted to let them know.
No, that's good.
But you were saying something about it was inspiring to hear everybody or something.
It's when I first started making films, I didn't really know I was wanting to make films until 6 years ago, and that's right when I got out of service, and then I was I don't know what to do, and then I was I like movies, but I wrote a lot of scripts and just wrote. I was a writer, and and that propelled into picking up my phone camera and starting to shoot with that, and then here I am sitting on a panel, and I'm
at Miss
what do I know? what do I know? But then the Lord, he's oh, this was always my passion, was always creating something,
Right.
whether I was drawing, whether I was doing whatever, and I'm like, oh, this is what I meant to, what I was made for, and first starting off, like, okay, you start off and you just fail, and like,
Right. Not being, your theme was like not being afraid to get it out there. I think we share that common theme.
everyone, I looked at some YouTube videos of some like great people who are successful, and they say don't chase money, chase, do what you love, and in the word obviously it says chase God above all things, which is,
Right.
I would like to think that He is what you love,
Right.
and it was amazing because all of them were like saying the same exact thing that we're talking about.
Exactly.
And like when I watched these videos when I was like down and like depressed and just trying to be inspired,
Like creative, we call that creative depression.
yeah, motivationally, like I watch these videos and I'd be like, oh, that's never gonna be me on that stage talking about whatever, but
And then here you are.
yeah, and it was like, and this is like, it's just gonna keep getting bigger and more, and like I watch your Instagrams and I'm just seeing you like, and I'm meeting other people, and like, before I was like closed off in my little box.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, okay, like,
Well, this could be a good platform for both of you to talk about your projects while you're on the show here. We're
Yeah.
just goofing off anyway.
I'm so sorry we're talking.
No, that's
Yeah.
fine. I just wanted to hear. You can use this as a
Oh,
platform.
really?
And just
Okay.
go ahead, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we even talked briefly too about you maybe playing some music for like I think I don't know if it was Grid Street, but I remember us talking briefly like you can
Yeah.
play some music,
Mhm.
and then Jeremy, you're a musician and stuff, and I've kind of helped you out on a project, and we're still gonna get you to help out on.
Yeah,
I actually have a part for him I haven't talked to him about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you just heard that on here, but I've been kind of developing it, figuring it out where how to make it work.
I've been writing one for you too.
Yeah. See, that's what happens, and then
See?
that's what happened. After that panel, John Millis over here, my friend, he like these. We went to basically like met up with these people afterwards at the panel, and then right across the table, he was telling me, I'm writing a part for you right now, and he kind of described it, and I'm like, and he goes, I don't have all the details, but I'm writing one for you, and that just kind of proves the networking part
Yeah,
of it. Like
yeah.
you were talking about, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and then also you might get other opportunities too
Yeah.
as well. You were kind of he was kind of preaching it to the panel people, saying like how Asaph, like how you do the show, just do it.
Uh-huh.
And we do have people come up to us sometimes
Yeah.
and tell us like, you know what, maybe you shouldn't, maybe why are you doing that, or they'll be really. I don't know. I'm going to speak from my own personal. They'll be like, that was terrible or whatever. But I was like, well, I did it. I got it out there.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to get better, hopefully.
And that's what the
Yeah.
successful people were talking about. They're
Yeah.
like, you're gonna fail. It's
Yeah.
just, but you're gonna appreciate your failure as you look back. And I look at it and it's just like, wow, I really enjoy. I don't know what I was thinking
That's
at
right,
the time,
that's what you were saying,
but I'm
yeah,
like,
that's
now
right.
I look at it, I'm like, wow, I knew something. Like I was
Right.
on the right track, but now I'm up here. But then the picture's just gonna get bigger.
Yeah.
And where you start, where like, you obviously start like, first you need to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
First, that's just like,
so
okay, no,
true.
and then when you finally believe in yourself, others will start to believe in you, and then
Yeah, right.
you'll start to attract more because they'll be like, wow, like this person's, I saw your films and you saw,
Yeah.
it's like everyone's like, we're the same and we're sharing the same experiences, it's just like,
Right.
he showed me a film that he made completely on his own
Yeah.
stage. I think it was Grid Street actually.
Okay, yeah.
And it was like, he just set it up and I was like, you make films on your own, like you set up the camera.
That was Chris. Yeah, I showed you a clip or something.
You'd have to film, like focus it, and then you'd be like, okay, I need to stand here because this is where I'm in focus.
Right.
You go back and forth, but then you realize, like, okay, like now you're working with people, and then
Right.
usually everyone, like, if you can't get to the heavens without the first foundation, without the
Right.
steps, and when
The
you're
groundwork.
working with like people, you're dealing with psychology,
Oh my
like
gosh,
how to
yeah.
get them to.
We were talking about that. You were dealing with somebody, like on it, where you had to walk out on set with all the crew or something like that. You walked out of the house or something, and you wanted to make the guy feel uncomfortable. Like,
Oh,
help him
yeah,
get
yeah,
something.
yeah.
But you were doing it on a kind thing. You were helping him, and then you told him afterwards. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
explained what was going
Yeah.
on, and it's kind of cool because it did work, and they're just touching that base of psychology. Like, yeah, you're working with whoever's helping you crew, to whoever is like feeling kind of insecure
Yeah.
in front of the camera, there is a lot of psychology.
Motivation,
Yeah.
trying to keep the whole crew excited about
Yeah.
what's happening, you
Right.
know, like, and that comes a lot to like, this is what I can do when I work with no one. And not to say you have to take that route. This is what I can do when I work with no one, and this is what it looks like when I can work with people, and this is, and just really just improvising like your style and being comfortable to be uncomfortable.
Being comfortable to be uncomfortable. That's so true. That's why, like, I was telling some of the people at this panel, and too, when I'm talking to people, you just have to step out.
Yeah.
And that's totally a good way of saying being comfortable to be uncomfortable. Just step out, take a risk, and put it out there, even if you know it's not quite ready, but you have it, maybe it's the only thing you got to express yourself,
Yeah.
to get that art out there. And yeah, you have to put it out there because amazing things could happen, and that kind of happened with me with my Wisconsin Project X, like I was sharing about, which I was like, what? And it got distributed by some person from Midnight Releasing, and it was like funny. I was like, I made this in my backyard with friends, and I'm glad I put it out. I was just putting it out for my friends,
Yeah.
and then lo and behold, that confirmed like you are on the right path. And there was one time too, going back about like you're talking about that creative depression, and it also goes in what we're talking about right now. Is I was doing I was making a movie called Catastrophic Denouement, and I think after I made it, I showed it to a friend. I went back to California and showed it to a friend, and they were like, "Oh, that's cool. Let me show you my film." And it was actually shot on film. It had good sound. They had a little bit of modest budget, little crew, and it looked amazing. It just totally like overshadowed my thing. And I was like, "No, I don't know what I'm doing. My stuff. If my stuff is gonna look like this, why do I keep on doing this? I have to get on another boat with somebody who knows what they're doing, because I don't know anything." Right there, it just kind of floored me. It made me modest. It made me. It just popped my pride a little bit, which it was okay. And I was like, oh man. And then, as time goes on, I realized, oh yeah, he had a crew, he had this. I had none of that. I was doing it on my camcorder. They were doing it on a big old film camera. I didn't have that as an option. I made a little short film, 25-minute film. And also on top of that, I showed it to a Hollywood person that I knew. At the time, it was kind of like my mentor. And they told me, it's too boring, too long, and all this. And another bam. And I was like, oh. And then finally, a gal here, I always tell this, and she always goes, no, I didn't. She'll always like say no. But Lori Hudak, and I think even Joel at the time, were like, you should turn this into this film festival, a video festival that's put on. And this is after I got slammed, bam. And I was really thinking, like, I was actually like praying about it and just figuring out what the heck am I gonna do. I was actually gonna like say I'm done. I'll just go pursue acting, not be really behind the scenes. I thought I'll just go do my other love. I'll just kind of do something else. I'll go in different directions. Obviously, I'm not good at this. That's how I felt. And then I entered it like they told me to do, because it was like Joel was like, we'll pay pretty much all of your festival entry fees because you're at Missoula Community Access Television. This was back in the day. A festival they did, and I entered it into the Hometown Video Festival, and I got a big manila envelope in the mail. I even forgot about it, and I got it, and they said, congratulations, you won non-professional for original teleplay.
That's awesome.
And I was like, that was just that little confirmation. I had to get slapped down first, and that was the one moment. I'll always remember that, and I still have that little placard, and actually went and accepted my award
That's
amongst
awesome.
other people. There's like people from Netherlands.
That's
and,
awesome.
yeah, and that just like goes, okay, now I know this is what I'm doing. And I set out and started doing my next film, and then it didn't win or anything, but I knew like, oh, I know I'm doing something right. And I had like good reviews and stuff, and then I kept on going, and then the Wisconsin thing happened, kept on going, and then right as of now, Zombies of the Living Dead is like I got it on Amazon Prime, and it has like 5,000 views. It's not a lot to big vlog YouTubers, but it's telling me, it's just that confirmation that somebody out there appreciates it and likes
Yeah.
it. Today, it just like, I think I looked at it today, and it has 5,000 views.
That's awesome.
Within 4 months or something like that.
That's like really good what he's saying, because it's like, I remember someone telling me like, out of all the songs that I've listened to, this is my favorite.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself like, man, like, I like those other songs, you know, and someone said the same about another different song, and it's really perspectively like which ones touched them the most. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I made some other music. I made like a handful of music, like
Yeah.
a whole 2-3 albums that are just like singles that I've never put out yet, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, I'm never gonna put them out because it's got to be perfect, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And I thought to myself, like, wait a minute, like, the songs that you like that one song, right? Or you like that song, right? And they're like, yeah, you know? And it's like, the only reason that song is out because the steps to get to that song were these
Right.
other songs that you don't like. The ones that are just the failures, the best.
tried,
The
right.
failures is the only reason why that song exists. So it's like,
Exactly.
it was like that in itself, and getting, like you're saying, getting thrown to the left and thrown to the right, and
Yeah.
someone saying this and saying that. You know, J.K. Rowling,
Yeah.
perfect example. All these publishers
Yeah.
didn't produce her stuff, you know.
Well, she's not the only one. I mean, that happened with George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
hear his story? In fact, this was on the World
No.
News. You know, when he wrote the original, what is it, the script to Star Wars?
Mhm.
He took it to all the major studios, and they have like these people that work in these studios that are supposed to know
Mhm.
when something is good, and every major studio turned him down. So what he did was he went to a smaller studio, like this unknown studio, and they gave him a chance, and he made like $100 million in
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
Star Wars.
And he went
Yeah,
through a lot
he did
of.
Yeah, and then
too, yeah.
all the people that were supposed to know that was good got fired in real life. That was on the world news. They lost their jobs because they should have known.
Right, and they're like, look at this guy.
Yeah, and that's what Hollywood tends to do. Like, you know, if you want to be a publisher of a book,
Mm-hmm.
literary agents, they're always record companies in the old days before the computers came out. They're always turning people down.
They're
Just
looking
constantly.
for your value before they know what your value really is.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
like a
They're
catch.
They're comparing you,
you know.
to other people's
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, the people that are already
Yeah.
out, see, and I think that they times have put an end to that.
I've
Because
seen,
they're always rejecting people.
Right.
Literary agents are rejecting people. It could be Christian, non-Christian. They just reject.
Yeah.
Instead of giving a person a chance. So
and that's
people
like what,
self-publish
what's
and
been
whatever.
bred into our society as people too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the way they're not gonna, like, I met a guy who was like homeless as I was like going in it too, you know.
Right.
And you would never have known he owned like a huge like baseball company
Yeah.
and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
And he was
Mhm.
just like crying about how he lost basically everything, his wife and everything. And I was like,
Well, that
"Woo,
can
like,
happen.
and
You know,
today
you
you'll be
can't-
happy, tomorrow you'll be."
You can't
Yeah,
put
yeah,
you
really.
can't put
It's
your
not about all those things.
yeah, you can't put your faith in those things. You know, look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Job in
yeah.
the Bible. You know,
Yeah,
how he
yeah.
just suddenly lost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, people act like. Well, let's talk about homelessness for a second.
Yeah.
The misconception of homelessness, when you see a person that's homeless, you think, oh, that person just wants to be there. That is
Right.
so
No,
not true.
Yeah.
They ended up there, yeah.
I played for the Salvation Army for 12 years.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm talking about. A sudden job loss, like these people
Right.
who live paycheck to paycheck, cause you lose.
Yeah.
Your health could suddenly give out. That'll
Yeah.
wipe your savings out.
Yeah.
I will.
Or like if you're a woman who's raised kids and you never went to college or anything,
Right.
20 years later your husband trades you in for another model.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's-
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
know.
that's-
that can
yeah.
cause that.
Yeah.
And I'm not picking on these husbands, but
No, it
I'm just
can happen.
defending that homelessness is not what people think. They don't. It's not because someone wants to be or they're lazy. That's just so false.
No.
Because you can be lazy because you cannot be inspired.
Yeah.
You could have no hope. Like,
Yeah.
oh, everyone's giving up on me. You know, no one showed me any love.
Well, I always defend homeless people after spending 12 years of my life playing for the Salvation Army to
Yeah.
help raise money. I actually did that to help raise money. You know, the Salvation Army can distribute to people in need.
Right. See, I think the biggest gift is like for homeless people or anybody when you're saying that they have no hope, nobody's giving them hope.
Yeah.
They're saying, "Oh, look at you! You're always going to be on that bottle, on that substance that you're hooked on that got you there,
Mhm.
or you're always going to be there because that job fell through
Yeah.
and you're not doing anything."
Right.
The best gift we can give, like I always see these Facebook postings. I love when like there's a guy who he's a barber and he'll go and pick a homeless
Yeah.
person and he'll
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and give him
a haircut,
rail.
or somebody will like treat him really nice and take him somewhere, give him a ride somewhere, or give him a meal or something like that.
Right.
I think there's more value of giving somebody value.
yeah.
Yeah.
Value
Yeah.
is the biggest gift
Giving
you
them
can give
hope.
anybody. Even now, if you give somebody value and it's something little by saying, Yeah, like a haircut. That's giving value. Make it,
Yeah.
and you see those guys. They look at themselves in the
And
mirror.
they be
with their haircut, and they're
inspired.
like, "Oh,
Right.
I can go get a job
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
or I can go walk somewhere and look great and
And
not
just-
be embarrassed that people are looking at me." Because it all has that factor. We do judge the book by the cover. And
Right.
the same, I see that with my students. If I just say, I've seen teachers do this. It's sad, but you see teachers in the teaching system. We're supposed to be there to teach and to give like hope and value and nurture them to
Yeah.
go, okay, here's some tools, go ahead and use them and
Right.
figure out and give. And every time I can give value to my students, I say, oh, that was great. Oh, you're really good at this. You might they don't like editing, but they like maybe
Yeah.
yelling. It's funny. It might be just they're not good at any of the technical parts, but they love this stuff for some reason. They're in the class, they love it, but they're good at like organizing, getting things moving, and yelling at people. I'm like, you're my project manager. And right when I name them that's giving them a value. You're giving
Yeah.
them a name, a title, and I think that's the biggest thing we can do.
Yeah, and one of the scariest things that I've realized was like, oh, I went through all these traumas and it's everyone's fault. And now, like getting older, I'm like, oh my goodness, and like,
No, see, I have
It's-
to.
now it's
I
your
don't think
job.
it's people's fault when they're homeless. I have to disagree with that too.
no, I'm saying like,
Oh,
No,
I
he's
know what
just
you're
saying
yeah.
like as far as like when I grew up, I was just like, why don't these people love me, you know? And
Yeah.
now I'm in their position. Now I'm as old as them, and now I'm like, it's up to us. It's up to what's in myself to love others. And I'm like, oh my God, like.
Mhm.
It's
a big-
it's scary because
it's
it's
a
like
big
now you're
responsibility.
responsible to like
It's up to
help
you to
someone
give that
else.
value, and we
To
all
Yeah,
have it.
uh-huh.
We all have
yeah
it.
Mm-hmm.
We all have it. And 'cause
Well,
we
you
all
know, the
feed
New
off of
Testament
it.
talks about if it's within your power to help someone and you don't.
and that could just be giving them the time of day
Exactly,
Yeah.
to listen to
to
them.
listen to them.
Right.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. Sometimes even like I find it even with my kids too. Like I'll be tired from work. I've gotten up at 6 in the morning, plus probably haven't had any sleep the night before because I was at working, or I get out of like whenever I get out of here late. There's still an hour commute. I have to get somewhere. I have to run errands afterwards, and then I'm pooped. And then my kids, they want to like play, they want to create things, and I'm just like, but I'm giving value to them by giving them time,
And it's-
it'll be worth it because in the end I know, even though I was tired out or I was so tired, it was so worth it.
And that's
I
when
can
you
look
grow.
back. Yeah,
Is when you grow is when you're tired.
Yes.
When you're weak. When you're like.
and you push through. stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I go through. I was like preaching to a few
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
and I'm just like doing this and this and this, and I'm just like, oh, and then somebody's just like, hey man, da, 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 and I'm like, and then something like a different, you know, the Holy Spirit, you know, something more comes out, and it's just like, yeah, I can help you, and then you find that extra strength. You're like, what the?
Yeah, it's like it kicks in something like yeah, the extra wind kicks in, or
Mm-hmm.
or you get your caffeine or whatever. It is. Sometimes I do coffee or I do a walk. It sounds ridiculous if I'm
Yeah.
tired. I go take a walk, like to decompress, and then the blood starts flowing, and I'm back in it again.
Mhm.
It's weird, yeah.
It's like
Backwards.
And you start to find yourself having more and more energy and like meaning. You're like, I want to wake up tomorrow. I don't want this day to end. I want to
Exactly.
keep living, you know,
Yeah.
like hope for the future. And like, a lot of us, we die when we don't do our passion. We die when we don't love each other.
While
we
we're still
die
alive,
when
we
we don't
die.
have
Yeah.
relationship with one another. When we don't open ourselves up to new adventures and new things. Like these things bring death. When we judge each other. It's just like all this stuff. And I'm just like learning how to let those things go and learning how to live more and learning how to love more and be more and happier and man, like.
And be like it's hard to be yes at the right time.
Saying
no
yes,
at the
yeah.
right time.
Yeah.
Because no is not a negative thing.
No.
It's a balance. And
Mhm.
yeah, it is. It's building, like you're saying, you're building character.
Yeah, like
And you're helping them out too.
just posted on Instagram. I'm just like, man, I screwed. Like I could have. I looked at my life and I was like, I blamed so many people for
Yeah.
so many things.
We all do that. We always blame it.
Yeah.
They should have gave me a break or
Yeah,
did this. Yeah,
but they
right.
didn't know. And
No,
then
they didn't
now
know.
I'm in that position, and people are looking at me. Maybe they aren't blaming me for things, and they're just like, this generation's messed up because of their parents and their parents and their parents. before
Stop blaming and change it, right?
Yeah, and I
Like,
just was like realizing, like, you know, I just made a video. I was like, I'm sorry if I've wronged you. I'm sorry. Like I'm learning, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all I'm constantly. And I went and got pushed around left and right, you know, until I'm like, no, you know.
Yeah.
Found the word of God, and you know, I'm not trying to promote God, but
No, I
that's what I
understand,
believe
yeah.
in, you know. And
Well, I was doing some. I don't know if you guys caught any of the songs I was doing
I
while you were
was
talking.
talking the whole time. Yeah.
Well, when you see the tape back in here, I
Okay.
did a couple of praise songs.
I was
and,
listening. I was giving value.
I did
by
your
listening.
danger music too for your.
Oh yes, I got that. Yes, I'm Agent Hyphen. It's a new character. I am, and yes, I'm Hyphen.
Yeah.
I keep phone numbers together. Sorry. I take away in multiplication. No, I don't know.
Well, let's talk about spies and all that. You know,
Okay,
we
yeah.
just recently lost Roger Moore. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
the
that-
fun James Bond. He kind of reminds me of like at what Pierce Brosnan did too in the '90s. I think
Yeah.
he's like he was the fun that like you could always have a fun time watching. Like Moonraker, I love Moonraker with Jaws.
Well, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
There's been some intense fight scenes with Jaws
Yeah,
too.
and they become well. I don't want to spoil it. Well, you haven't seen
Well,
it yet.
it's
been out
like 20,
forever.
30 years old.
Yeah, he
I'm
becomes
sure
like a
everybody's
good guy.
seen it.
Becomes Jaws and him become good buddies, and there's relationships.
Well, I saw an interview with Roger Moore, and they were
pretty awesome.
asking him. He said he wasn't the tough James Bond. He was more the good-looking, loving,
And fun, I think.
fun James
Yeah.
Bond. But boy, those fight scenes he had, that didn't seem like no loving guy. He was kicking some serious tail.
And he was an
in that.
ambassador too for like children.
Yeah, he was
right?
helping children
Yeah, he was a
later
good
years
guy.
for real.
Everybody always said good things about him in real life. Like he was
Yeah.
just a real good guy. And never let the James Bond like ego do anything. He just
Yeah.
used his celebrity to help that.
Yeah,
program.
he almost made it to 90 too, so that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah,
89.
Always like
89. I was born in '89.
89. See, I'm older. I was born. You're older. We're like all like older.
Well, I used to watch Roger Moore, and I don't know if you will know this show. Do you remember a show called The Saint?
that was where he kind of like.
It
that
went
was like,
something like this.
He was like the perfect. Yeah, he was the agent. He was a spy.
It had
Never
that
really
theme
watched
song.
it, yeah. That's why he got picked for James Bond.
It
It
had
was like a
something
black and
that.
white show, I think.
And that's like
Yeah, well, what it
Yeah.
was, this is pre-James Bond. He
Yeah.
still had that spy,
A younger Roger
Character, yeah,
Moore,
very
way-
younger.
Yeah.
and there was always this halo that would go on the top of his head at the beginning. He'd look up and there was this halo.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
called
yeah.
him the Saint. He was really, he was like a good guy slash bad guy, really.
Yeah.
Not bad in the sense of crime. He would just steal money from the bad guys and pocket it.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's the Saint. It was like modern Robin Hood.
Yeah, that's the way to describe it. Modern Robin.
Yeah, because that was the '60s, right? When
Yeah,
the show
early
was on,
60s,
yeah.
something like that.
'Cause
Have
I've
you ever
watched
seen
a,
that show?
a few episodes of that, so.
Well, they did a remake of The Saint, but you know those remakes are never the same. I don't
No.
know. But that's how Roger Moore got on the map was with
Was that what
The
the Saint was? With Val Kilmer?
Yeah, that was a
movie?
remake of the
Oh,
Roger
yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen that
Moore.
one.
it was like it was okay. Yeah.
I've seen that one. That was a good one. That was amazing.
I said it's okay. And you're like,
Yeah.
"It's
He's
good."
like,
it
"Ugh."
stunk. I was kidding.
No, but really, that's a remake of
That
Roger
was
Moore
okay.
version.
I
That's
was
from the television series, and that series lasted something like 3 or 4 seasons,
Oh,
maybe
wow.
a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Roger Moore just had the perfect look
Yeah.
at that time in his life. Simon Templar was the character he played.
Yes, that's right.
He was the British Robin Hood.
Yeah, that's how I
That would
came to
always
think of it.
steal from the underground, the bad guys and all, and pocket the money.
Yeah. Like I'm taking the bad money and using it for good.
Yeah, he just keep it pocketed and
Yeah.
does whatever he does with it. And he had some pretty intense fight scenes on that series too.
Yeah.
Goodness.
60s had some cool shows.
Oh yeah, they had the Avengers.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Avengers, the original Avengers,
Mhm.
with Mrs. Emma Pell
hmm
and John Steed?
And then they redid that as a movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was based on that, and
Marvel, right?
This is Avengers, like the different Avengers. This is
no,
not like
Uma
Marvel.
Thurman was
Yeah.
she played Emma Pell.
Yeah, that's right. He's thinking the Marvel characters,
Yeah.
Avengers, but this was.
Oh
totally
no,
different.
not the Marvel
They just
character.
had
We're
the
talking
same
about the
name.
British.
Yeah,
That same era where Roger Moore came out.
it's
of,
like
you
top
know.
hat and a cane and
Yeah.
like,
And it had a thing that went
and-
something like this. See, something like this.
That's right.
That was the intro to the theme song, and it went something like this. Something like this. Something like that was their theme song.
Right.
That's way before your time. But I'm aging myself. I used to watch all those shows. I watched the Avengers and the Saint and all those shows. When I was
See,
a
I
kid.
caught up on cable when I was a kid, so like I would find
And
out.
I remember
where
when they were
something
on
was.
regular television
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
time. They had a bunch of spy shows. There was The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I don't know if you know that.
No, I don't know that one.
And
They remade that, didn't they?
probably. I think they remade all the spy shows. But we're talking about the original.
Oh,
TV
yeah.
versions,
They remade the movie.
I would watch all
movie.
the
And they
old
did.
school
Oh
ones.
my goodness, just a list of spy shows. In fact, in the '60s, that was the time for
Mission
spies.
Impossible was my favorite. watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was more like that was early 70s.
No, that was
right?
in the
It was
60s
the
too.
60s over.
Well,
the
what people
70s.
don't realize,
love
Peter
how they
Graves,
made them
you know the guy
masks.
that plays Jim Phelps, he was not the original leader of the IM Force.
Oh, really? I didn't
No,
know
there was an actor named Stephen Hill.
Okay.
You know him on, I think it was that Law and Order series, that
Okay.
older guy Adam that played
Yeah.
the attorney.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Well, when he was a young man, he was the original leader of the IM Force in the pilot.
yeah, 'cause I
They
used to
had
watch
like
those.
Barbara Baines still and
Mhm.
Greg Morris and all the rest of the characters, but not Jim Phelps.
No.
It was Mr. Briggs. Good morning, Mr. Briggs.
Yeah, that's right.
Your mission, should you decide to
I
accept
love those
it.
as a kid because I didn't know they were old shows. I was
Yeah, they're all
watching
old
reruns.
television
I
shows.
didn't realize it because I always tell people. I remember I still vividly. I don't know when. I remember seeing a special on Disney,
Okay.
and it was it was in the 80s, and it was a Disney like anniversary special, and they would do a television show right there from the park. And me as
Right.
a kid growing up near there, I had to be at the park, so I could relate to it because I was like I'd gone to that park. All of a sudden, here comes Dick Van Dyke out, and he has, he's older, so he has gray hair. He
Yeah.
still looks like Dick. I'm like, Mom, why is his hair? What's wrong with his hair? Because I didn't realize because I've been watching Chitty Chitty Bang Bang,
Right,
Mary
right.
Poppins, where he's a young Dick Van Dyke. And I didn't
Right.
realize, and that was the first, I think, the moment when I started realizing I was watching reruns, and I didn't
Right.
realize it at all. I just thought,
Mhm.
sometimes they film it in black and white. Sometimes they film it in color, and I thought that was like that moment. I remember in the 80s when I realized, like, I'm watching.
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke did a lot of those. Well, he wasn't the only one. He did those like Disney movies.
Yeah, I did a ton, yeah.
Yeah, there was Julie Andrews. There was
Mhm.
Chuck Connors from The Rifleman. He was
Yeah.
involved in some of those.
Yeah.
This is way before The Rifleman, I think.
Yeah.
You know, there would be a lot of people that did those kind of shows.
Yeah, they did, and that was like awesome too. And I would just catch the reruns because they would do a Disney on Disney Channel during cable, and cable was like brand new, cool.
Well, let me think.
They had billions of channels.
Do you have a favorite of those movies?
like the old school?
Yeah. I would say Mary Poppins is probably a fun one.
I'm gonna agree with you on that.
She
Mary
was
Poppins,
practically
I can watch
perfect.
that. Like, yes, I can. Well, as a special effects guy, I
Uh-huh.
love Mary Poppins. As just a movie, the story about the father, like we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier, like
Mhm.
how the father figures out, he goes, "Oh, I have these children here this whole time," and it's that beautiful song, "Feed the Birds."
Uh-huh.
And he's walking through those beautiful matte paintings into the town. He's just got fired, yes, and but it's not that he's just got fired. He's realized the kids he has, his family that was right there, and he was always overlooking. So at first you see him in the beginning, he's just like unaware of his kids, unaware. Let's just have Mary Poppins come and take over and be our child sitter and not be aware. And all of a sudden it was like he had to realize his son gives him like a coin or something. I have to watch it again. Now I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it tonight, and it's amazing. There's that he does the walk of realization of like, oh, I have this family. He's more sad that he never was there. It's really good. And I forget the actor who played the father in that.
Yeah, I'd had to look him up.
Bed Knobs, the broomstick, and he was on a ton of Disney things. But he was a great like actor. And
Well, Disney had quite an imagination, you know,
That's
Snow
great.
White and,
Yeah,
going
great.
back to the 1930s and oh gosh, all those other movies that Disney has done. The originals were talking
But I like the
about.
metaphors they use, like feed the birds, feed the birds, like right here, tuppence.
Mhm.
It's that thing where the lady, we're going, say I'm bringing it back to value. Say I'm a teacher, so bringing
Oh, yeah.
this back to the theme. like we were talking about value, and that's what Mary Poppins is about. It's about value.
Yeah.
About what you have right in front of you. And that lady who's like in the dirty clothes, the homeless lady, she's feeding these birds, and she's feeding them. And really the song plays that the father needs to feed and nurture his kids,
his
the family,
kids,
But really, watch that movie in that kind of context, and it's like, oh, I get it. That's the between the lines, and it's pretty. And now I'm gonna watch that movie tonight. I'm like sold myself on it. Sold myself.
Watch Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, there you go. And you
Great
know
special
what,
effect
guys?
movie,
An
too.
hour has almost
Oh
gone
my
up.
gosh.
See how quick that went? Any final things you want to say, Jeremy, before we sign off?
Oh, it is all about God. And
Yes.
I'm working on. I just got to finish with the album.
Yes.
And I'm working on the third to the last.
Jeremy,
music
where do we
video.
go? Where do we go to find your album? Or-
Jeremy Shines. JEROMIE.
Oh, okay. That's spelled that way. Okay, say it again.
Shines. SHINES. Like the sun shines.
Facebook,
Okay.
Instagram, YouTube.
YouTube.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Jeremy
And people
Shines.
watch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Laura if she'll put this on next week instead of waiting, 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Right.
Let's just preempt it and put it on next Thursday.
Well, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
Google me, Christian Ackerman, or Fast Coast Productions. Just Google it. You'll find it. Fast Coast Productions. Or just Google my name, Christian Ackerman, and you'll find.
And if people want to find me, it's just simply asaph@hotmail.com, spelled ASAPHADONAI. All lowercase, no dot in between. Just asaph@hotmail.com. Anything else you guys want to say real quick?
No, I'm good.
This guy's awesome. This guy's awesome.
You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you.
God.
The real awesome is God,
God is
so
good.
I'm gonna
This
just
almost
Yeah.
becomes like a whole nother show, like
Yeah,
a
let's-
discussion.
Well, yeah, but see, it's all in the same show, so that's pretty cool. And then
That's
we want to
awesome.
congratulate our bike winner too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I forgot the name, but congratulations.
Grant, right?
Grant.
Something Grant.
Yeah. Well,
Congratulations.
I'll put all that information on the bike winner in the credits of the show, and have Lori put it on next Thursday, and they'll contact the winner there. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And it's nice to be able to have a winner on The Price is Right.
On the
You know, like The
yeah.
Price is Right, yeah. And it was good sitting in with Bob Barker for old time's sake. He's probably much older than that for real now.
Yeah.
Oh, my finger.
Trivia real quick.
Okay.
What was Bob Barker's first game show?
Oh my gosh.
All right,
I can
well, I'm
see
gonna
it, but
play
I
it.
don't know the
Let's
name.
see.
I can see it. No way.
No,
Jeopardy.
I'm just playing that.
Oh,
while-
I was like, not Jeopardy.
no.
That was another guy. There was another guy before Alex Trebek. Is that how you say his last
I
name?
don't know.
But anyway.
Yes, there was. That was
There's
Art
another
Fleming.
guy. Art Fleming. Okay.
All right, but I'm not talking about him. We're getting back
We're talking
to Bob
about this
Barker.
guy right
What
here.
was the name of Bob Barker's first game
Don't
show?
know. I can see it. but
This
I don't
is
know.
years
I
before
know.
The
I saw-
Price
I
is
saw a
Right. It
little,
was
like,
all black and white.
documentary about him.
Yeah, do you have any idea, Jeremy, what the name of
I can't
his?
remember.
We'll just wait for
Most-
you.
I
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say something so you could be like wrong. Hollywood Squares.
No,
See?
it was called
Okay.
Truth or Consequences.
Truth or Consequences. I
That
can
was
see
the
that,
name.
yeah.
And what was funny about that show is when a very, very young Bob Barker would come out, they had like an assistant host, and they would ask the contestants a question, and you only give it like a blink of a second to answer it. And if you didn't answer it, then you had to face the consequences. And that's what made the game show so fun, because you never knew what they were going to do to a contestant
Right.
in those years. I mean, they only, like, they'll ask a question, the buzzer go off right away before you get a chance to think.
That's cool. Before
So-
you get a chance to think.
So, yeah, before you even get a chance to think, they ask you, it could be like a history question or anything, just
Yeah.
something really simple, but that buzzer would go off right away.
Oh man.
So then you had to face the consequences.
That's awesome.
And after you face the consequences, you end up getting the prize. It wasn't about winning a prize. It was
Right.
more a comedy. What's Bob Barker
Gonna
and the
do to
staff
these
going to do
poor-
to these poor
There,
contestants?
there was the shows in like Japan, because that's where I was like
Mhm.
when early in my life, and I'd watch these shows, and it's like they would all these contestants would be like 5 people would be on this like slide, right? The silver slide. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And if you get they ask you a question, if you get it wrong, the slide will start going like this, tipping,
no.
and they'll try to like they'll be holding on. Like,
That's
awesome.
and they
Yeah,
fall in the
so
bucket.
that kind of gives you an idea. And then they would have a thing like you just never know what they were gonna do
Right.
on that show. It was something comedy or whatever. You never knew
Yeah.
who was gonna get embarrassed on nationwide TV back then.
That's awesome.
But they always had a winner though. Nobody ever lost because they weren't
Right.
competing. It was just more comedy. But yeah, that was Bob Barker's original game, Truth or
awesome.
Consequences. And then he went on years later to host The Price is Right. I think he did that for like 30 years.
A long time.
You know what's interesting about like people is like if you pay attention to like these like, for instance, we were watching, I forget the movie with the guy who played Jesus in Passion of the Christ.
Oh, Jim Carval, I
Ca-
think.
Caviezel.
Caviezel.
If you look
whatever.
at the movies he made before that, it was
Mhm.
like the lead up to Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, that's right.
Like if you look at actors and
Like his
anyone,
road away to
yeah,
where
you
he
can see
ended up.
like
Yeah, it's same. Yeah, you
We call
you
that
could say
destiny,
that.
my friends. Destiny.
Either out of the will of God, huh?
They always say, like, I was just in the right place at the right time, and it's destiny, my friends.
So that could be another topic for another show, but I believe in things like that,
Yeah.
and it makes you think there must be God behind orchestrating stuff like that. See,
Exactly.
just a thought, just food for
I
thought.
agree. Yeah.
Well, guys, we're out of time. Let
All
me
right,
make
bye,
some final
guys.
acknowledgments. Again, congratulations to the bike winner, and thanks for Bob Barker sitting in with us, and thank you, Jeremy and Christian,
You're
for
welcome.
yeah.
you know, this is so fun being on The Price is Right, and we get to be on the 35-year version. See,
Yeah, I see the big 3-5.
This show was long. Maybe
It
it
was
was
a long
really
show.
a
It just
moment.
seemed
I
like
have to go
because
to the
you know
bathroom
having.
now.
Yeah, well, we're signing off now.
Oh, no, I don't have to.
So,
I'm sorry. I had to
Maybe
do a
lose
little
my
Steve
train of
Martin
thought.
there. A little Steve Martin.
all right, well,
It was
it's-
clean.
I know.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry.
thanks again, guys, for sitting in with me, and Joel Barrett, our general manager, and again, until our next show, Maranatha.
I feel like we should be talking.
And there's that final chord. Will you guys make yourself at home? I'll set everything down and make you guys a copy of this.
All right.
A copy of it?
Yeah.